Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa. I'm part of the Transition Network International team, and I'm here to open one conversation with Voices of Transition. So, Voices of Transition is a project that has started as a quest to inspire societal environmental change, drawing from the experience of the transition movement. And we are especially interested in amplifying storytelling because in the heart of transition, that's like an essential tool to bring different voices, to share wisdom, where every voice and every language also holds a unique perspective and a piece of the puzzle that we need to build a better and more just and sustainable world. Today we are together with Alex and Danijel, and they're coming from two different parts of the world, but they share the same passion and the same experience about bringing empowerment to the communities they're working with. Alex, welcome. Can you tell us a bit more? How are you and where are you coming from?
Yes, thank you, Lisa. I am really thrilled to be here. Well, I'm from Mexico. I currently live in San Cristobal de las Casas. That's in Chiapas. It's close to the border in the south of Mexico. But I am originally from Guadalajara. That's in the center of Mexico. As you know, Mexico it's a very big country. And my background, I come from a privileged family. Being a colonized country, I would say that I am more of a Spaniard descent. My ancestors were mainly from Spain, also from my father's side and also from my mother's side. And also in my background, my father was really into business and my mother was a lot into religion and spirituality, mainly Catholic religion. So I have like those two sides of the coin, and I studied for a lot of years, mainly in business, maximizing profit, and obviously because of my father. But after all, close to 20 years, I would say I found my life lacking meaning, lacking purpose, and I met a turning point in my life when my ex-wife asked me for the divorce. So my life turned like completely upside down, and I started studying different subjects that I didn't even know they existed. For example, permaculture, as Danijel knows, that completely changed my mindset. It opened the possibilities to a completely new world that I was unaware of. And I was like, wow, I don't know anything about this. So I kept going forward, studying. And after a while, I decided that I had enough with the corporate world. And I've been dedicating to this life for several years now. Talking about me, about myself, I am really into the inner development. I am really interested in noticing my feelings, my thoughts, my attention, my awareness. I really feel that it's important to start with oneself, and that's one of my main interests in my life. My meditation practice, being in nature, practicing the way I listen and the way I am present for myself and for each others and for life. And yeah, I would say that that's a bit about myself and my background.
Thank you so much. And I can see immediately connections there with what you were saying, with the permaculture especially, and the connection to nature from what Danijel has in his life. So Danijel, would you like to also to say a bit more about where you're coming from, how you are, and yes, what's in your life?
Yes, I will try. Thank you, Lisa. I'm from Croatia, from one island in North Adriatic Sea. It's a small community, maximum 7,000 people with other islands around and a lot of small communities. Most of my life I was working like bar and restaurant business. I had my own bars and restaurants, and like you, Alex said, going for profit, for growth and searching for something. But all the time I knew that we're doing something wrong, but I said what we can do, nothing. And time was passing and I was searching something sustainable and regenerative. And then I came to permaculture like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Then I didn't even know that at that time I was interested in this. This- I was talking to messages with one of my permaculture colleagues and mentors. When we start to messaging in the messenger, I saw that we had a communication 2012 because I ordered in transition 2.0 and I was trying to talk about this movie. And then during the years, nothing happened till a few years ago. I was on one workshop, permaculture transition workshop. We call it like a good start in the neighborhoods or something like this. And at that moment, one now is my friend. At that moment, I didn't know this gentleman from other island, Kirk. He was saying like, we are not in the crisis. The crisis, it's not gonna start. We are already in the crisis. We are done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what's he talking about? And then I started to research, and then it hit me like big time. I was lost and still fighting with some of these emotions inside of me. Last year was pretty much intensive for me. That's why I searched for this challenge with Voices of Transition to find some new guidings. And here I am for now. I don't know if I need something.
Yes, wonderful to hear. So it seems that both of you had your own transition in life, like transitioning from one mainstream worldview into something more deep and regenerative, and also examining in yourself your own place in this world, how you can contribute to it. And that brings me to the next question. So what is your passion? Where do you see that you're most passionate about? And we can start with Alex.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Lisa. Well, I would say my passion, my number one passion, because I have a lot of passions, a lot of interest, but my number one, it would be feeling alive, like really recognizing the miracle that is to be alive, like being present and feeling alive. That's my number one passion. And that always happens. Usually it's more intense when I'm in nature and just allowing myself to breathe, to feel myself, to feel my body, to feel that I am one with everything. And that's my main passion. I also love music. In fact, I had a record store with my ex-wife. We both love music, and that's one of my passions. And I also love to meditate. As I said before, my meditation practice it's also one of my passions. I would say that one of my passions is doing what I love and loving what I do. And that would lead to what I'm doing now, that it's collective imagination processes and trying to imagine collectively like brighter futures, like, and how can we do these exercises in larger groups in the context where I live in? Because, for example, right here, we have Mayan communities and we have a lot of different backgrounds and cultures. And how can we integrate these kind of processes so all the voices can be heard, all the hearts can be open and shared? So that's my passion also, like serving life. I would say that that's also a passion of mine. Like, what can I do with all the privilege I have had all my life? And that brings a lot of responsibility. And yeah, studying also, it's a passion of mine. Next year, I'm starting a master's in investigation about collective imagination. I want to give it more structure, like it can be like used in a methodology or something. I don't know, but something will come for sure. So that's also a passion I have. I love reading. I love studying. Yeah, that's also one of my passions. Yeah, thank you.
Sounds really beautiful, like a life worth living. And what about you, Daniel? How is your life? What are you passionate about?
It's pretty much the same because the best feelings I get in nature when I'm in nature, and the freedom you get in when you are in nature and working with nature is something different than any other job when you're doing, because nature doesn't push me to do anything. Just be with her and think is best for all. I like long walks with the dogs. I like to volunteer with the animal society protection. I like reading, exploring, but at the moment I think the biggest passion is permaculture in all aspects, what it brings with it, from 6 principles. And whatever I do or plan to do, I'm now thinking through this and what can I do better than before. That is what it mostly now occupy me, and trying to find a story so I can inspire at least one person in my life. I will be happy to do the same.
Yes, thank you. And I can see that both of you are really strong on your personal journey, but also within your communities, both in Mexico and in Croatia, and that you have a very unique position in your environment, that you are there to amplify the voices of the people, of the communities that you are serving and being part of. So how do you see yourself in this storytelling journey? Alex, would you like to start?
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Well, as Daniel said, I think it's really important to inspire, and I think it's important to start with me, with myself being inspired, because I feel if I am not inspired, I cannot transmit that inspiration. So I try to be inspired myself initially, and then transmit that energy so people can connect with that emotion in a true and honest way. Yeah, I see the journey initially inspiring myself with the actions that I do, with the territory that I'm really proud to be a part of, that we can work in protecting it initially. And it's a very important time for us here in this territory, because the government is about to, well, we are in this like liminal time. They want to approve a development program that it will impact the whole territory for the next 30 years. And we created an urban observatory here in our territory in San Cristobal de las Casas. And we reviewed this document. It's very long. It's over 600 pages. And initially it was illegal because the participatory process they held, it wasn't a participatory process to start off. And they basically want to reduce the natural protected areas. So we are in this moment protecting our territory, protecting the future for the next generations, for protecting the future for the children. So we are talking about our narratives, as you have said, our storytelling. And thankfully, we all agreed that we need to talk about hope, about inspiration, about change, not like pointing the finger to the government, because that doesn't work. And also like telling it's the end of the world and like really being negative, that doesn't work either. So we are using like the hope narrative and the citizen narrative in our storytelling journey. We feel that we have lost the sense of being citizens. Our capitalist system has driven us into feeling only as consumers, and we want to reclaim our citizenship and seeing ourselves as citizens. And that's what we are doing. So in my storytelling journey, I no longer see myself as just one. I see as a whole, as the group, and I want to tell that story.
Very inspiring indeed. And what about you, Danijel?
I'm seeing that the stories mostly with telling stories with the kids, with the youngs, because we are leaving this to them, and I don't know how to say it, not to say it wrong, the others or the non-believers, or how to say it, who still ignore the situation that we are at the moment, and that the urge for need, for change, for transition and mitigations, because when it hit us, it already is hitting us, but when it hit us, it's gonna be hard. And I'm just feeling sorry for people who wanna experience the feelings that I experienced, or maybe you too, when you find out. And when it's gonna happen to a lot of people at the same time, I don't know, it scares me. It's a lot of sorrow, and so I think that if I can prepare
more people to just tell this story that we can adopt and be prepared and to do beautiful things and live life differently and have all these things maybe some just in another way, but that's the story I'm trying to find and to tell. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. And just to finish this nice exploratory conversation, I would like to ask you if both of you have a message to share with the world now that you, let's say, more visible, more there, more present, and potentially reaching out to the whole transition movement. Alex.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you, Lisa. Well, I gotta say that I gave a thought to this question because in my podcast, it's a kind of question that I always tend the conversations with, but I've never been in this side. So yeah, I would like to start by saying love yourself, but just that is really complicated. I would say initially that you can't really love someone until you really know that person. So how can we love ourselves if we don't know ourselves? So know thyself. I would say that would be like my first recommendation, like work in knowing yourself. Then dedicate some time to serve others, like without expecting anything in return, and see how it feels. And the key word in this phrasing is time. Like dedicate some time, not only money, and see how it feels. And start maybe by giving 2% of your time, maybe 5% of your time, and see how it feels, and increase it and see how it feels. And for me, it's been like crucial to have a purpose larger than myself. And in order to find our purpose in life, initially we first need to know ourselves, because how can we know our purpose if we don't know ourselves? So we go back to point one, to know ourselves and like connect with nature. For me, in my personal journey, nature has been the gateway. Our mother nature, like, she has all the answers. Like, it's there, but we need to like free ourselves of our constant thinking and just try to be really present in nature. And we can use that. If we connect with nature, we will connect to ourselves, to a sense of unity, of recognizing that we are nature. Yeah, and that would be my message. Like, we are nature, but we just need to remember that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alex. And Daniel, what is your message to the world? What would you like to share from you?
I think we are all equal. Or like every living being, every beautiful creature on this planet have his duty or something that is giving to this beautiful planet. And so, like under this sky, we are all equal, and we have all responsibility to nurture this planet, and then it will be thriving again if we can do it soon as we can.
Wonderful. Yes, so I hope those messages reach as many people as possible, because they're very important and kind of bring together all the important things that we need to be doing collectively. And so I would like to thank you for both your time and what you're doing in your lives, in your communities, and also transmitting your passions to bring this regenerative change in the world. And I'll just hope that more people will join it because of you, that you're the ripples you're creating the ripples that will bring forward this change. Thank you again. So we had Alex Urbieta from Mexico and Danilej Visak from Croatia. Thank you for being guests to the podcast, and looking forward to be hearing more from you in your own spaces, own podcasts, and also written text, articles, and everything else what comes to you as storytellers, as somebody who is really committed to this journey. So thank you very much. And we can follow up with the other members of the Voices of Transition in the next episodes of this podcast. And all of them can be seen on the website and the social of Transition Network, transitionnetwork.org. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Danijel.
you. And see you soon.